able to take his place here, and we wish him the best of luck. We understand he is in a little bit of ill health at the moment. Efran Legospino has taken the fight on short notice because he thought he was certainly in front of Karim Nashar when they met earlier this year, Barry, so it should be an excellent rematch.
Well, I was actually at the fight. I was commentating on it when Efran Legospino fought Karim Nashar, and actually Efran, I thought, was marginally in front. It was a very good fight. Karim was throwing bombs and finally landed with one and stopped Efran. You know, and the fight was probably stopped at the right time too. He was definitely hurt, but he did appear to be recovering quickly, and recovered quickly after the bout was stopped. So, you know, this is going to be a very interesting rematch here tonight. Legospino looking for a revenge.
This is Efran Legospino, a 25-year-old. He's lost only 3 of 17 fights. He's going to enjoy an edge in reach against Karim Nashar, state champion in the Philippines, his native Philippines. And really, he was after this rematch, given the history that Barry Michaels just explained to you, because he thinks he can beat Karim Nashar, the current Australian junior lightweight champ. And I'm sure Karim Nashar is such a polished performer that he would have learned a lot from that previous bout. So we'd expect that he'll improve as well, Barry. Yeah, well, Efran's a southpaw, and I think it threw Karim off a little bit. I actually was with Karim in the dressing room, and he didn't know he was a southpaw until just before the fight. But this Filipino Efran Legospino, he's got a very good right jab and a very good right rip to the body. Very classy southpaw. Well, Karim Nashar generally makes quite an entrance into the ring. I wonder if the sunglasses are going to be required here on this occasion. Normally,
it'll be something far away. It'll be something good.
A picture of sartorial splendor will be Karim Nashar when he makes his way to the ring. Yellow and black trunks is all we know at the moment. Barry Michael likes to refer to Karim Nashar as Australia's answer to Prince Nassim, and he hasn't let us down.
No.
They are awful trunks.
Unbelievable. He's a real card. And he really comes to fight. He fight anybody, and he puts his heart and soul into every show.
Yes, you certainly have to take your hat off to Karim Nashar, former Australian amateur champion, has been a state featherweight champion, and now the current Australian junior lightweight champion, having won the title from Danny McGrail back in June this year, when he had McGrail down in the second round before it was stopped in the 6th. McGrail since has gone on to win an Australian title of his own. But Karim Nashar, well, he is a very brash, confident young man. And any man that can wear trunks like that, well, you know they can fight.
I was going to say, you'd have to be able to fight wearing a pair of shorts like that, wouldn't you?
The never dull Karim Nashar against Efran Legospino coming your way. Let's go to Mr. Terry Hansen.
Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth fight on the card this evening is a junior welterweight rematch set to go over 8 3-minute rounds. In the red corner, a former Philippine state amateur champion with 13 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw and 5 KOs. Last time he met his opponent, he was KO'd while ahead on points, ladies and gentlemen. He's here to set the record straight tonight, Efran Legospino! And absolutely bouncing out of the blue corner this evening, he's fought from featherweight to welterweight. He's taken on the best the country has to offer. He's the current Australian junior lightweight champion with 13 wins, 6 losses and 8 KOs. Karim Public Enemy Nashar! Our referees Jim Boland, judges Jim Slatter, Gus Mercurio and Dave Wignall.
I tell you, John, those shorts, if they got full of sweat, they'd weigh you down, I would reckon. They'd take a lot out of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a rematch. Let's hear it out there.
I'm sure he didn't have them on when he was on the scales, because he wouldn't have made junior welterweight.
That's for sure.
They are the biggest pair of shorts I have seen in my life.
Round 1.
Let's see what Karim Nashar can come up with. He's in against Efran Legospino, the southpaw in the blue trunks, in a rematch from October 30. Nashar stopping Legospino in the 7th round on that occasion while behind on points. So the Australian junior lightweight champion Karim Nashar, he knows he was going to have to work a game plan here against Efran Legospino.
Yeah, Karim sort of walks up continually and he bobs and weaves and throws those big shots. You know, they come from any angle, and hard to block punches like that. But Legospino a little bit more sort of an orthodox southpaw, if that makes sense. He you know, stands with his right foot forward and leads well with his jab and rips and hooks very well with his right hand, as an orthodox fighter would with his left hand.
Nashar wild over the hand right there. No problems for Efran Legospino to slip under that. Nashar wants to get on with the job here in the opening round, scheduled for 8.
Yeah, Karim had success with the lead right hand last fight, which is you know, generally a winner against the southpaw. As they lead, their right jab, you throw your own right hand to the orthodox stance, and then follow with the left hook. That's the general idea, left hook or left rip. But way off the mark there.
It's not a good sign early on there for Karim Nashar. The way he's throwing his punches are looping. They're a little wild. No love lost between them either.
Yeah, referee Jimmy Boland warns him about the hedge and float there.
He's chopping with that right hand a little bit as well, Karim Nashar. Tangle of arms. Jim Boland, our referee, is going to have his hands full here. And it's a wrestle, close quarters.
Walking up the cross-arm stance, looking for an opening. So far, this first round, you know, very little scoring punches to be landed by either guy. Probably a couple of cleaner ones by Legospino, I would say. A couple of good shots there.
He's 30 years of age, Karim Nashar. He's talking about still tackling the world stage. 30 years of age. Opportunity may have passed him by, but he is the current Australian junior lightweight champion.
Well, you know, I think he's fighting as good as he ever has, and I think he's probably improved even, John, you know, with experience. You know, it's going to be, if he gets away with this rematch, that'll be a good indicator of his future, I would imagine.
And looking for the overhand right without success. End of round number 1.
What would you reckon there? Legospino just a little bit cleaner?
Well, I'm going to score at 10-10.
Not a great deal of scoring action in the round, but I think Legospino maybe a draw is probably a fair call, but I think Legospino maybe just scored a few cleaner shots.
Where's the ice?
Keith Ellis in the corner there with Karim Nashar.
Well, statistically, one of the greatest ever trainers in Australian boxing.
Well, undoubtedly. I mean, he really knows his stuff, Keith.
Putting the polish on Karim Nashar here as we get underway round number 2 for this junior welterweight battle. Karim Nashar in the yellow trunks. Efran Legospino is a southpaw from the Philippines, now fighting out of Sydney, Ditto Bohol. And again, referee Jim Boland with plenty to do here.
Karim going for the wide hooks, body shots up close. Karim putting the pressure on in the first round, but not landing with, you know, very many scoring punches or clean scoring punches. He's trying to outmuscle Legospino here to wear him out, I think. He's undoubtedly the stronger of the two. Looking for that right-hand bomb, which he was successful with last time. I also noticed he's landing the right drive to the body. Keith Ellis was telling him correctly in the corner to go for the right drive to the body against the southpaw stance.
Just looking at the canvas here as well, it's starting to bunch up a little. I wonder if that's going to create some problems. You can see from our overhead shot there that they just need to tighten this up at some stage during proceedings tonight. As Karim Nashar again stalks after Efran Legospino here, round number 2. Legospino taking this fight on 48 hours notice after Stuart Patterson was forced to withdraw from the clash. One of the more anticipated fights on the card was Nashar against Stuart Patterson. It hasn't eventuated, but these two put on a good show on October 30th. And they're back at it again here.
Nice little left hook in place there for him. A lot of holding here, a lot of resting.
And Legospino, well, he's been conservative so far. It's been an economy of action from him, Barry.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot this round. I really did expect a little bit more. Karim really trying to make the fight, but just missing with a lot of shots. A lot of clubbing stuff up close there, which is not real clean scoring stuff. That was better from Legospino. The uppercut he tried in close there for Nashar, which was called between rounds by Keith. A lot of right hands to the back of the ear, which is it is painful, I tell you.
Certainly no malice.
Oh, that was a good right hand for Karim Nashar. Now Karim getting on target a little bit.
Best punch of the fight so far, the straight right from Karim Nashar.
Yeah, he's a bit worried about his eye there, the Filipino.
Doesn't appear to be bleeding at the moment.
Good, beautiful right hand in the body from Karim Nashar. Karim's starting to get on target now. Working to the body well.
And digging away to the body in the clinches as well, just trying to impress the judges enough to maybe score the round to his advantage. And I think they might have to do that. Certainly the best punch of the fight was in round number 2. It was landed by Karim Nashar.
It was a couple of good rights to the body, but it was still a close round, but we'll give that one to Karim. Very, very close. He did finish the round stronger. His strength's sort of showing through, I think. Trying to outmuscle the Filipino, who was worried about his left eye. Actually looks as though it's swelling and possibly even cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers get bigger, but the dresses get smaller. This race goes to Anna with the big trouble.
One wonders if that problem was from a head clash or a punch.
A lot of head work in there. It's a pretty scrappy affair most of the time, to be honest. That was where the Filipino was caught there.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Well, it's scheduled for 8 at junior welterweight level. Set for a start, round number 3. Karim Nashar in the yellow and black trunks. Efran Legospino.
Karim needs to do what he had success with at the end of the second round there. And let's keep the pressure on. That was good. Keep the right hands going into the chest midsection region, and then come up with the right hands and left hook to the head. Another nice right to the body there. That's a winner for him. It's a good scoring punch. Filipino fires back with both hands.
I mentioned that Legospino took this fight on short notice, Barry, and certainly that must work to the advantage of Karim Nashar. Was expecting a war against Stuart Patterson. He would have been primed, ready to go off.
Yeah, I agree with that, John. Actually, I think Legospino in this fight, I think he's being outmuscled by Karim, and I think maybe the short notice will tell on him as we progress into the the later rounds here. Even though it's only 8-3s, it's still a long way to go.
Legospino spoken to there by Jim Boland about punching in the back of the head of Karim Nashar. It's nice and compact in defence, holds his left hand up pretty high, but he got tagged with a right hand from Nashar on that occasion.
It was one of those right hands that badly hurt him last time and caused the fight to be stopped. Actually dropped him with a ripper of a right hand, Karim did, in the 7th round.
Well, Nashar does have good power.
Oh, he does. He brings them from miles away with heaps of leverage behind him. Good short left hook there.
In fact, Nashar's last 8 fights haven't gone the distance. He's won 6 by way of knockout. He's lost 2 by way of knockout. And there's never a shortage of entertainment when Karim Nashar's around. Again, trying to club with the right hand against Efran Legospino, who's on the retreat a little here around number 3.
Yeah, he's not fighting the confident fight he fought the first time they fought. So Karim is out-muscling him and landing the heavier punches at the moment.
Legospino looks as though he's gone 13 rounds rather than 3 at the moment.
His face is pretty marked up already, yeah.
Now with that right hand dangerously low, he picks it up now, but Nashar clubs him with a right hand again. Nice work now from...
Good shots from Legospino.
Legospino coming back.
But Karim putting the pressure straight back on top of him. Little short right hand in close. Legospino just not doing the work.
Looks tired.
Yeah, he does look tired. Nice little uppercut from Karim Nashar.
See Mick O'Malley in the corner with Keith Ellis for Karim Nashar, former Australian champion himself. Won't be long before he'll be back in action as Legospino now starts to open up a little here toward the end of round number 3. Most of the work in this round, though, has been done by Karim Nashar.
Walks straight back into it. Yeah, I suppose you've got to say it's just with the aggression, the pressure he put on, and the heavier punching, I think you're going to have to give that to Karim again. Efran Legospino doesn't look like he's too confident at the moment, John, to me.
Very tight. Very, very tight. He's had enough, that's why he's grabbing all the time. Yeah, that's fast too slow. Last time I reckon he was just one on point. He lost every round. Locked me up on the last 30 seconds, huh? Last 30. Keep going. You hear me about? Cross over, step in. But don't be down here because he's got you. Step in high, yeah? Cross over, step in high, ram in, then the uppercut there. All right, let's go.
Mick O'Malley on the left there. Keith Ellis with the instructions for Karim Nashar.
Good advice from Keith Ellis there.
Seconds out.
He's got the strength, Karim.
Round 4.
Pressure him, force him into the corner, uppercut, and then work from there.
Scheduled for 8 at junior welterweight level. This is the 4th stanza. Karim Nashar leading handsomely, according to Barry Michael. At ringside, I see it likewise against Efran Legospino, a southpaw, now based in Sydney via the Philippines. And again, Jim Boland needs to speak to both men about being careful with their heads. Already we've seen Legospino cut around the left eye in the 2nd stanza. We heard Keith Ellis telling Karim Nashar there that Legospino did look tired. That's the way that we see it. Although
firing back well, that good right hand from Karim hurt Legospino there.
yes, he went to dip under the punch and was caught with a nice solid shot and almost didn't regain his balance.
Yeah, he was coming off a good combination, and then Karim, there it is again.
Right hand from Nashar unloads on Efran Legospino, and that certainly had him in trouble.
That's the one that dropped him last time, and it looks like he's going to do it again. Good work from Karim Nashar there.
Well, Efran Legospino with his hands full here against the current Australian junior lightweight champion Karim Nashar, looking for a finish.
A jarring right drive to the body. Those shots don't look too sensational, but believe me, they really, really take the wind out of you. Straight in the midsection. Even if you block it, if you've got your full weight behind it, it's a very, very hurtful punch.
Legospino trying to hold on here because Karim Nashar has unloaded some big shots in round number 4. That's the jab from Legospino. Needs to use that a little more to try and keep Nashar at bay, and he does so. And his hands down dangerously at the moment. Efran Legospino inviting trouble against the power puncher Karim Nashar. Southpaw Legospino does present some problems for Karim Nashar. He's been able to overcome most of them so far.
A couple of wild punches from Karim there, a couple of neater ones from Legospino, but you still have to say that Karim's in control of the round with his strength. Good little right jab from Legospino. Karim manhandling him in close. He's doing more up close, and even though they're not like clean scoring shots, they've got to be counted for something.
Again, Legospino waiting for Nashar to come forward. He's dictated the tempo of the fight throughout, Karim Nashar. Efran Legospino has been troubled by cut left eye since round number 2. And the heads were dangerously close there. But Nashar has done this throughout the fight. He continues to throw leather in the clinches, and Legospino, well, he's quite content to hold on, and that's not going to do his cause any good in terms of the judges scoring the fight.
That's exactly right. I mean, he stepped back and he lands some clean shots, but the difference is Karim's working 3 minutes of each round.
Again, Nashar just finding a way through the couple of punches there, and again doing enough on my scorecard to win the round.
Yeah, just too strong. That big right hand earlier in the round, just the continual pressure and the continual work rate's another 10-9 round for Karim Nashar. Yeah, another 10-9 round of Karim Nashar.
Daniel Rousell warming up in the background. He is going to be in against Paul Murdoch for the Australian Cruiserweight title. That's coming up next. Look at the record, only 2 losses in 15 starts. Rousell has been sparring Carly Meehan, the undefeated Australian heavyweight champ. Went 10 rounds with him last week. He's primed for his battle against Paul Murdoch. Ahead of that, though, the second half of this junior welterweight clash between Karim Nashar in the yellow trunks and the southpaw Efran Legospino in the blue. At the moment, both Barry Michael and myself have this in Karim Nashar's favour. He was trailing on points when he defeated Legospino back in October, but at the moment it's 39-37 for Barry Michael. I have it 40-37 in favour of Karim Nashar. But John McCubbin, Jim Slatter and Dave Wignall are the 3 judges at ringside that will officially decide this should it last the full 8 rounds. But given the evidence so far, you would think that Legospino is going to find it pretty difficult to still be there at the end of 8 because he has looked tired since round number 3.
Yeah, as we said, he took it on short notice, and he's been hurt by a number of big shots from Karim Nashar, and if he gets caught by a few more, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now with his hands back up high.
Karim going for that right drive to the body again. Been a winner for him tonight. Oh, not lovely short left hook, he closed there. Hard punch to score that, but you could see just by the way the Filipino's head jolted back that it was a good punch. Oh,
big right. There it is. Karim Nashar has dropped Efran Legospino here in round number 5. He doesn't look as though he's going to be able to continue. Karim Nashar has unloaded a big shot, and Efran Legospino is out here in round number 5.
That was a beautiful right hand. Lovely right cross from Karim Nashar. Flush on the butt. And it was all over. As soon as he hit him with that, I knew the fight was over. Very, very polished performance by Karim Nashar. He was a little bit wild in the first couple of rounds, but got himself on target. And another sensational KO for the Casbah kid, Karim Nashar.
There's never any shortage of entertainment when Karim Nashar's around. For his 9th consecutive fight involving Karim Nashar, it finishes early. And he has now won his last 4 fights and 7 of his last 8 by way of knockout. The Australian junior lightweight king, Karim Nashar, says bring them on. Maybe that battle with Stuart Patterson that was to occur tonight will be labelled a little later. Perhaps next year, and Karim Nashar's going to do a jig for us as well. Well, he's very exciting. And again, he is on.
He's doing some push-ups now.
Win his side, and look at him get down. He's still got some plenty of energy here, Karim Nashar. He has knocked out Efran Legospino, and now he's going to do some gym work as well.
I'll tell you, he is a very fit boy, and he's had a couple of good lead-up fights. He's in probably the best condition fighting form of his life, and hey, I'll tell you, a rematch with Danny McGrail for the lightweight title would be an interesting one, John.
Well, here it is in replay. Watch for the big knockout punch, the big right hand from Karim Nashar. It was right in front of our commentary position. And Efran Legospino, who had looked tired and a little fatigued prior to that, had been tagged a couple of occasions with a right hand, but this was the finishing touches. So for the second time in 6 weeks, Karim Nashar knocks out Efran Legospino.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute 18 seconds into round 5. Referee Jim Boland has stopped the fight. The winner from the blue corner, Karim Nashar.
Well, he is the Australian junior lightweight champion. Tonight they were fighting at junior welterweight level. Karim Nashar, doesn't matter what weight division, he is the man. Let's see what he's got to say. Here he is with Terry Hansen.
Karim, public enemy, they love to love you, they love to hate you, but you're the winner tonight.
Mate, I love this. You know, I can't believe I never used to get this much attention at school. You know, this is excellent. I'd like to thank Bill and Craig Morty for putting on a magnificent night. You know, I try and perform for these guys as much as possible, or whenever they call me. I'd like to thank Barney and my corner people. Without them, you know, I'd just be a big bird in the corner.
Karim, no schoolboy stuff there tonight. You guys have met before. Did you have something to prove again with him coming back in?
Oh, he seems to be a little bit upset about me when I don't know. I hit him a couple of times last night.
no grudges or anything. You know, he's a professional, I'm a professional. We still try and do our best. We come here to perform with you, lovely audience, you know.
I think you could perform all night. You're too shy for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Karim Nashar. Give him a big round of applause. Public Enemy. The victor tonight in the 5th round.
Oh, Karim Nashar. What a champion he is. They're the Australian junior middleweight rankings at the moment. In fact, that should be the junior welterweight rankings. The title is vacant at this stage. Love more to do in at number 1. Jim Savage at number 2. Jindo Kanoi is in at number 3 at the moment. Darren Miller and Danny Vasquez. Actually, I can tell you that Matthew Pauly is the new Australian junior welterweight champion, having defeated Jim Savage on the 22nd of October. So he is the new champ. But next up, we're going to decide the Australian cruiserweight title, and Paul Murdoch, a very popular young man. Well, he is going to be in against Daniel Rousell. Has only lost twice in 13 fights, Paul Murdoch. And he is going to be a very awkward customer for Daniel Rousell. They've met once before. It was a split points decision in favour of Rousell. Murdoch, looking for his first Australian title, is a very accomplished performer. But the reason Paul Murdoch and Daniel Rousell are fighting for this cruiserweight title is because Adam Watt vacated to allow these two gentlemen to fight for the Australian title. And let's have a look at Adam Watt and Daniel Rousell and what they had to say.
I know I've had a few little things going wrong in those fights, and I'm going to get back to doing what I do best and knocking guys out.
What do you expect to see from Paul Murdoch in this fight? Do you expect to see